Good evening. I'm Cihuapilli Rose Amador, and this is Native Voice TV. Well, today we have with us someone that's always in the community, and if you're involved in the community, you've seen him, and he's probably taken your picture. Welcome, David Cipactzin, David Romero, and David is a still photographer for Native Voice TV, so he is always out there.
Yes, I try to make it to every powwow that I can.
Gathering, an event, and a meeting.
Parades.
There's always something going on.
Yes, this community is very active. I mean, it's full of events. And, you know, I go to a lot of the other cities and participate in their powwows, and not only taking pictures, I also participate, dance, grand entry. And
you don't find time to sleep, do you?
No.
I didn't think so. Because David is also, he's a still photographer for Native Voice TV, so he's always here. He's in the community, he's taking pictures. He's a chair of the Northern California Apache Council. He is co-host on Indian Time 91.5 on KKUP with Jack Hyatt, and that's every Tuesday from 8 to 10.
Yes, it is.
So you could be heard on there with Jack Hyatt. You have your own radio show called Native Way, which is the fourth Sunday of each month, and that's from 1 to 3.
Yes.
And so you can't have time to sleep.
Well, you
It's
know,
impossible.
I do find a little time, but
Yeah.
you know,
Probably while you're driving or something, huh?
no, I try not to, but I do get kind of drowsy, and a lot of my friends do worry about me because they see that I do go to a lot of events, and I have a full-time job also, and you know, but I chose to immerse myself in my culture because it was late in my life that I found out that I was Apache, and I really wanted to know, you know, what it was about, and I felt that by immersing myself in the culture was the only way I was going to learn, and I want to share what I've learned with everybody because I found that was the way. You know,
and you have immersed yourself. Now,
Yeah.
you have been to a lot of these events, as you say, and you know, a lot of our friends in the community probably wonder, what happened to those pictures?
Oh,
What did he do with
yes,
my
yeah.
picture? You know, we have this little saying, because David always takes pictures of the guests on each show, right? And we have the little saying, what? Make me look skinny.
Yes. I
Right?
get
Make
that.
me look younger. Stand back. Don't get too close. And he always manages to do that somehow. He has that miracle camera or the miracle eye. I don't know, one or the other. But, you know, I brought some pictures you took at the Ohlone gathering and then at the American Indian Alliance Christmas dinner.
Oh, yes.
I know we have tons more to catch up on,
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is a start, and we can show some of these pictures. Now, the Ohlone gathering was when?
That was in, let's see, October, the first Sunday in October.
And where was that?
And that was at Coyote Hills.
Okay.
And this year it was a special thing for them. They did a healing of Mother Earth
that's
because Coyote
needed.
Hills is really in need of the help. And they spent a whole week before that event and prayed over the land. And they had the home bleches there that they were doing, some of the guys. And on the night before the opening of that, they had a bear dance, and they had 8 bears there that danced and
Wow.
and prayed and did ceremony for the healing of Coyote Hills. And
Now, did tribes come from all over California for
yes,
that, or local
the Ohlone
area?
tribes. Yes, Anne Marie Sayers was there, Patrick Orozco.
So this is
Tony
Ohlone,
Serta.
Muwekma, and
Yeah, those
Esalen,
Escalon,
and
yeah.
California, and this area of tribes.
Yes, they're the Ohlones that are recognized here in the areas, and they've been doing it for years, and it'll keep going. And I've made it, I think, the last 3-4 years in a row, and it's one that I look forward to all the time because it's not like a powwow. They dance and sing.
It's a gathering.
But and they have all these exhibits. They teach you how to make arrowheads.
Let's take a look. They're probably wondering, what are they talking
Yeah,
about? Okay, you can tell us about some of them as we take a
Mhm.
look at them. Let's see, what do we have here? Now, this,
Okay, that was a hawk that was flying up above us uh, at that gathering. It was so beautiful, you know, that to know that they're there. And these are some of the young singers that they have there that sing and dance. And that's Patrick Orozco and his group. And they're there every year, faithfully. And
what's that? Oh, look at that.
that's a deer that they have,
Wow.
and I especially like that because it's one of my protectors, is the deer, and I felt real close. This is a deer dance that they're doing, and the young dancer is portraying the deer, and there's a hunter. One of them's a hunter, and then the young girl. But there are different animal pelts that are laying around in the circle, and the dances, all the songs and dance is prayer, you know, and that's basically what they're doing, is they're praying thanks to the animal for giving his life, you know, for food and their bones to do the flint knapping or whatever, or for the tools that they use. But they're really a good group, and they perform at other places. Mount Madonna was another.
I've seen them there. You know, it's nice to see the little kids dancing too.
Yes, yeah. As a matter of fact, on the program that they had for that event, there was the picture, one of the pictures that I took of them at Mount Madonna.
Oh, boy.
And yeah, they are. It really touches me, my heart, that the kids,
Aw, look.
starting from so young, that
Cute.
they're starting to learn now who they are, you know, and aren't going to end up like myself,
Beautiful.
waiting till they're 40 or in their 50s before they find out who they are, you know. But
Beautiful.
it's a real good group, you know, and I think you saw Teresa in there. She was on there. Yeah, they taught how to start fire with
Oh, that's what they've done.
rubbing the stick on a piece of wood. Kids were making flutes, and there's Anne Marie Sayers. They had kids drawing and stuff. They were jewelry making, and they, like I said, they're not vendors. They're just.
Oh, there you were in that picture.
Yeah, I had my camera to a person now and then
Wow,
to
look at that. That's a lot
take
of
a
people.
picture. They wanted a group picture of all the people, and they told me, "Hey, I'm part of the group, so you come on in here." And when the photographer took the picture for that, he also took a picture with me in it. But it's a very educational event, and it's put on by the Coyote Hills, the Forest Service. And,
So that's a traditional regalia, huh?
yes, it is. It's all traditional regalia, and there's Tony Serta in the back there with the red there, right there, Tony. So there's the two groups that were performing. were
He's from
Tony
Southern
Serta,
California, or he's from this area here?
in Southern California,
That's
in
what I
Monterey. But they performed in There's Canyon, and but yeah, it's a very enjoyable program. It's you know, they tell you stories about what's of their past and of their ancestors, and they show you their ancestral dances, and you know, this is history of California. This was before, you know.
This area here.
This area right here, yes, and that's why Coyote Hills is such an important thing. And right now they're trying to build like 800 more units out there, and you know, we got involved with them to help put a stop to that, you know, or it's a whole different thing. I'll have to have my sister Carmen come and talk about that. You know, it's something that we can do another program on.
Oh, look at the little kids.
Yes, and they really put their heart into their dance and their regalia, you know, and and they from beginning to end, they don't drop out, they don't cry, they're just so proud to be there and doing their dance with their elders, you know, and they all participate. You know, it's just fantastic. And like I say, it's not like going to a powwow and you have all these booths. Oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, to distract you. It's all total education.
That's good.
They grind acorns. They do weaving. They teach you how they do it. It's a hands-on thing. I mean, it's just not an exhibition. It's a hands-on kind of thing.
That's great.
Flint knapping, making arrowheads. They bring.
I like that with the gatherings. They're not commercial at all. It's so traditional.
And I enjoy taking a lot of pictures. I mean, when I went to school 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, I started learning to do photo documentaries, and you know, I was just going to collect a GI Bill, and it was something that I had already learned in Japan, photography, and you know, I saw an opportunity here to put that to use. You know, not only in this program. You know, when I first met you and showed you told you that I had did this kind of thing.
And this type of event, it's so great to document it.
Yes.
You know, it's just.
So you know, I know
the families, the children,
They hear about me taking pictures, but they really never.
I know that now they'll see themselves.
Yeah, you know, I go out there and I enjoy myself, and like we all have a hard time remembering things sometimes, you know. I remember this way, and every time that I go to a function like this and I take these pictures, I try to have my laptop with me and burn a copy right away and give it to the group and tell them, here, this is part of your history. This is now. This is how they put on their makeup, their war paint, for the dancing. You know, I call it putting on the war paint. But it's a ritual that they do. You know, and they smudge, they pray, and it's part of their prayer. You know, to do this. You know? And you know, when I first started my journey in looking for who I am, I heard of the Red Road, and I didn't know what that was. And I asked somebody, and they told me before the white man, before drugs and alcohol, you know. But this is just one day there. They have one day a year, and this is the day, you know, through the day. There's my sister on the right there, Carmen. And she'll be the one that.
Looks like a community dance there at the end, huh?
And also on the 14th of June, there's going to be a storytelling over at Indian Canyon, and that's where Anne Marie Sayers is the overseer there. That's their land over there, and they're building. They're trying to raise monies to build a roundhouse there. So you know, that's something that we're going to be looking forward to, inviting you all to come and listen to all the stories that are being told there and shared by all the different Indian tribes.
And they do this dancing there too.
Yes, there's dancing and drumming and singing and this last year it was really beautiful, you know, and like. We've gotten involved with Anne Marie and in helping put it on. You know, it's a joint effort. She wants to use it for an intertribal area, not just for the Ohlonies, because you know, there were so many Indians massacred back in the early days that and so spread out, that we need to band together to help one another, to remember the past and learn those things that we all once knew, you know, and respect for Mother Earth, respect for our elders, respect for the women, respect for the children, respect for ourselves.
That's right. And there's so few places that are sacred like that to have events.
Exactly.
They end up being commercial because they're forced into that situation, because of the fees the parks charge and so forth.
And last year there was this gentleman had purchased some big logs. They were huge poles, and they were used to build a raft. They were moving something, I don't even remember that. My memory on stories like that. That's why I take pictures. But anyway, the story went that they took 7 of them, and he carved them. He bought them, and he carved them into totems.
Wow.
And there's one in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and places like that. I think even where the 9/11 happened, and Sweden, I think, and they're all over. And he gave them to them, and he had gifted one to Indian Canyon.
Oh, how nice!
And it was at the time we had storytelling last year.
And so when is that again? The storytelling?
It's going to be this year on June 14th. It'll start about 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and that'll be at Indian Canyon. And later on, we'll get you the information. I think
okay, good.
We'll try to get Carmen and Anne Marie Sayers maybe to come and talk about it. And
one of my best experiences at Indian storytelling was meeting Dr. Darrell Wilson. He was a storyteller there, and he had come, I think it was probably a few years after his stroke, and he came there, and the Shumish dancers danced for him. And then, the Ohlone dancers danced, and it was a beautiful experience. And we formed a beautiful relationship and have been very close since then. So it was, a real blessing from that, going to the storytelling.
And the year before last, I think, or a couple of years ago, I Wounded Knee came with a couple of friends, and one of them was Bobby Romero. And Bobby Romero, yeah, it's his uncle. And I said, but Bobby Romero, man, we could be cousins,
That's right.
And it
just meet such great people.
Oh, and he, he's a musician, and he's got all these things going. And so his uncle went up to the front and was going to tell something, and Anne Marie introducing him says, this guy's a member of and he leans over and whispers something. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a co-founder of AIM, Dennis Banks. And my jaw dropped, and here I'm going like, wow. Yeah, I just blew him away, and I didn't even know who he was. And I told her, Anne Marie, I need to gift this sage and tobacco to him, please. Is it all right? She said, yeah. So when he finished his speech, I went up and I gifted it to him, like, oh, wow, here, I'm sorry I just blew you off.
Well, we're going to have to see some of those. I know you took a lot of pictures when Dennis came the last time with the community. We need to bring those. Yeah. We have pictures from the American Indian Alliance Christmas dinner. And we're running out of time, so let's show those because they want to see themselves too.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah.
All right, here we're getting the food ready, so let's go.
Yeah, we had a Korean group from here in San Jose that donated their time and worked in the kitchen. And
these are the people working in the kitchen right now.
Yeah, and that's all one group that donated their service. That came and helped. That's not just Native American, but they wanted to help.
A lot of people show up for that event.
It's full house every time. It's packed.
I know they've been saying they need a bigger place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they're going to find a bigger one.
I know, that's for sure. Either fairgrounds or something like that.
Yeah. But it's pretty well organized. This is.
They had some entertainment.
This was a senior group that came, women, and they were doing their dances. And
oops!
Yeah.
Somebody's sideways over here. A bunch of people are sideways.
I laid my camera sideways. Is what I did. I think. Yeah.
Well, maybe we better stop this because everybody's upside down. And unless we stand on our heads or go sideways, we're not going to be able to see them.
Yeah. Oh well.
But
I'll have to remember not to.
But we have a lot of events because you had the ones that you took when Dennis came, and I think you took a picture of every single person that was there, which is great because I have mine and he autographed it. And to me, I just cherish that.
Mine's in my folder in the car.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that
keep
was
that
nice.
with
And
me.
we have a lot because you took the veterans.
Yes.
You went to the Ira Hayes
Oh
Memorial.
yes, that was.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That was what the way that started is we went to be an honor guard for the moving wall, the Vietnam moving wall at Tucson, Arizona, for the Yaqui tribe at the Casa de Sol, the Casino de Sol.
I've been
And
there.
when we got there, one of the guys goes, "Hey, there's a parade in Sacaton for Ira Hayes. Would you like to come along?" Yeah, we've got a little time to kill. And it was a most exciting thing that I'd been to, and I've got some beautiful pictures. I think
I've seen them. They're great. I've been to the memorial there for Ira Hayes too that they've had,
and
and
it's
that's
one of
wonderful.
the biggest parades, and it was a blessing. I just couldn't believe it, and I got a picture. I went to San Javier Mission.
I've been there too.
And
That's
and
great.
I took a picture of the mound that they have there with the cross on top, and there's a rainbow that came, and I had been looking for my spirituality, and in search of that, and being on the red road, it was like the Creator pointing His finger, the rainbow, right to the top of that sacred mound, and it had a cross on the top, and He didn't care how you worship Him or do it, just as long as it's Him.
Right. I have to. I'm thinking of something. I'm kind of chuckling here because earlier, before the show started, there's a story. What is the word that you used for coyote? You used something else.
Okay.
The jokester.
Iktomi.
What is it?
Iktomi.
Iktomi.
The
And
Sioux.
that's a Lakota word.
Lakota, yeah.
And Dr. Wilson, who is Isati, I believe, it's the correct word for Pit River, but it's Isati, and he talks about Coyote, the jokester, who's always playing tricks on everybody. So when we got here, we had the pictures, and first of all, there was such a problem getting them onto the disc, and we got here, and they weren't anywhere to be found. We looked and looked and looked, and everybody looked for them, and they were nowhere. And then David said, "Well, I guess, yeah." And I said, "It must be the coyote playing tricks on us." And then just like that, they appeared.
Yep.
And then he put him sideways. So that's why I was giggling, because I thought, he hasn't stopped yet. He's trying to get us.
Yep, he turned those pictures sideways.
I got to show, I have some beautiful pictures and
yes.
paintings to show. And these were gifted to me. And I just have to show, hopefully, are we okay? Can you get this one? Okay. This was drawn with a number 2 pencil by Johnny Clay, an artist. He is fantastic, and it looks like a picture. It's like he took this with a camera.
Yep.
This was with a number 2 pencil, and he gave me this, so I really appreciate that, and thank you. This was actually framed by Artbeat, who is located where Native Voice TV is located, and they framed it for us for Native Voice TV. So thank you, Mark at Artbeat, and thank you, Johnny Clay. That was beautiful. And another, I've just been just blessed by these wonderful individuals. And this, if you can catch this was given to me by Ruben Espinosa. And David likes this because it's Apache. And Ruben, can you get that? Actually has a business called, do I need to move anything here? Called New Edge. He makes t-shirts, he does business cards, he does a lot of graphics, but he did a t-shirt for our Native Cultural program at CTC, did an excellent job. Actually, Johnny Clay did the artwork for that project, and then Ruben of New Edge made the t-shirts, but he actually gave me this right after the new year, and wow, to start it off right. So thank you, Ruben. Beautiful, beautiful work.
That's remarkable. When the maestro was out, before I got my name, I had told him that my ancestors came from Arizona, and asked him what would I have been if I followed my roots back further. He says, Azteca. So that's why I ended up getting my name, and this picture shows that.
And
it
you
shows
mentioned
the Apaches, and it's got the Aztec in the background.
And you mentioned the maestro, and we're talking about Maestro Osalacoat, and he will be here for the Mexica New Year.
Yes, he will.
With the Mexica New Year, which is March 15th and 16th. And that will be at the National Hispanic University. There we go. There's the slide up there. It's Saturday and Sunday. Well, we got it out of order because David brought it up.
Yeah, well,
he brought up the maestro will be here from Mexico City to conduct the naming ceremony again.
Yes.
And he will be, and they will be dancing and. We talk about getting larger every year.
Yes.
We have to keep looking for a larger place. So this year it will be at the National Hispanic University. There'll be a here's the information on the times. It starts with the sunrise ceremony at 6 a.m. And then there's from 10 to 4, you'll see dancers from throughout this. They come from throughout the state to dance. There's a lot of vendors. You can get a lot of Mexica jewelry. You can get jade. You can get just about turquoise, anything you're looking for, earrings, beaded jewelry, clothing, a lot of nice gifts, and gifts for yourselves and gifts for others, right?
Snake skin from, I forgot what it was, but it was huge. Anaconda or whatever those are in South America. It was the biggest, largest piece of snake skin I've ever seen.
Just remarkable things. Oh no, we're almost out of time. Let's talk real quick about the longest walk coming up. Tell us real quick, David, what it is.
Okay, it's the 30th anniversary of the longest walk. It's going to start at Alcatraz in San Francisco. It's going to be 4,400-mile walk, and it's going to end up.
Right, and that's going to be led by Dennis Banks, and we're out of time. Oh
yeah.
no! I think you had one other quickie. Oh, you talked about storytelling, so I guess we got it all in. But we'll try and bring you up to date next week with what else is coming up, because there's a lot of events coming up. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Sunday at 6 o'clock. Good night.
Okay. Yeah.
We have too much.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Of our children's eyes. Indigenous soul, indigenous soul. We're alive because we survive. Indigenous way, indigenous